So it's fitting how insane I look. Okay. So let's talk about some autism today. The autism, the Auts, you know, people call it different things. I'm a late diagnosis. I got diagnosed really. Okay. So let's get into this. It's fitting literally how crazy I look right now and just like not together. Look at this. Not even a curl at this point. It's just anyways. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about the tism. Um, I think that a lot of people, you know, we are going to, it's on a spectrum, right? Okay, so like if you don't get that, I don't know, go watch some other informational video. That's my cat that y'all just saw creeping in. Um, but it's on a spectrum. So what that means is it doesn't look the same necessarily in somebody else. Or in like it's not going to be similar in every person. There are things that like certain people are going to be like, oh my gosh, me, and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, not me. But you agreeing with somebody who's autistic and how they feel doesn't actually make you autistic, and then you not agreeing with like the entirety of someone's experience doesn't then also make you not autistic. Sorry, just go. He's like looking for something. Okay, so I am a very productive member of society. Okay. I went to school. I did the school. I did the jobs. I do the things and, all that, right? So, me being able to do that already sets me apart. I mean, and there's limitations. It's not no so much that there's like an intelligence barrier. Sometimes it's just like, depending how you it just depends like how it manifests. I don't know how else to say that, but like some people, it's going to be difficult for them to go to a school, go to university alone, like without somebody there. Um or without an aid or something like that. I mean, there are people who are artistic who are always going to be nonverbal, so that requires a whole different community because you need your community at your university to be willing to work with that. I mean, this is a whole other thing. I don't even know. If you know, you know, for this one, I'm going to be honest. I usually don't mind doing a lot of explaining, but I'm just, no, not today. I'm tired. And so the thing is though, like I've always been someone who's like a productive member of society. So I've always, like been able to have a job. Sorry. I'm getting so freaking close, but I want to clean my glasses. Sorry. You see? I don't know. Just pop out with an accent. No, I'm not quirky. That's that's not what I'm trying to do. It's just sometimes I don't know what happens in my brain. It like lags or something, and then like I'll have a weird accent. Like, and I'm not, girl, we're not talking about black accent. But it'll be like literally out of nowhere. I just sound like I live from, I don't even know freaking where these people would talk like that. Like, words will just come out differently. Usually, when I'm like teaching your stuff, and it's like very, that's a whole other thing. And I feel like it's just because my mouth is moving at a different pace than my brain, and like everything is all moving at a different pace because I'm trying to like gauge what's going on in the whole situation with like my student or like with what they're learning or trying to like go on the spot. I do tutoring, so mm, I'm not necessarily like 100%. aware of what's going on all the time because, like there's just like different things going on, right? And my computer has broken down. So this is also kind of just like what's that? What if this was my what if this was my last reason or some shit? I think there's like something I remember probably like 30 years ago because I'm always late on everything. Where it's like, yeah. Anyways, randomly what's playing in my head and it has nothing to do with it. It's just like I was an employee. Yeah, I did it. I was an employee. I would have done it for a check. Anyway, okay, sorry. That's not even how it goes. I can't even, that's where I'm at right now. Okay. Um, but anyway, so I think for me, like I becoming diagnosed and like being comfortable in that because it just says like a lot of things. And like I'm trying to like demask. Right now I don't have like an official therapist because of like I'm moving around. So most therapists they can only work in whatever state they're in. So I'm seeing like where I'm going to end up so then I can have like somebody, you know what I'm saying? Um, anyways, the so at the end of the day, and at the end of the day, it's night. Sorry, I can't. If I post this, like, I'd probably just do it like I'm not gonna even just to like for me to. I mean, I'll probably end up privating it, but just for me to watch how this is going, just to watch the madness. Mm, water, by the way. Um, so I get very overwhelmed being around a lot of people. Like, and not, it depends, okay? So I have a feeling this has to do with masking in term like I can mask until a certain point, and then I'm also in like the midst of an autism burnout. Um, and like sometimes that lasts a long time. And peaks and valleys and like spiritual warfare, if you want to get into all that kind of conversation, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about autism today. That. Um, and autism. And it's like I just don't I'm like tired, okay? And I feel like everybody wants me to perform. And it's not so much that they want me to. I just know that would make them the most comfortable. And like I know people are like, "Oh my gosh, like we care for you." But then like as soon as I'm like in my neutral, like I'm tired and I can't do anything and like my face looks angry, they're like, oh, like, I don't know. Like, it just becomes a whole other problem. So then it's like, even though you guys are wanting to be understanding and wanting to be like there for me, there's a lack of like actually wanting to empathize with who I am as a person. And it's depressing. So that like doesn't help the whole fucking bowl of soup that we have a brewing here, right? Because then I feel like it's still my problem. Like I'm the one who has to like I still feel like, uh-oh, it's actually my problem that I have to um like rearrange or whatever, right? Anyways, so for me, what I find interesting is like, oop, I'm gonna become a floating head. So I think the thing is don't okay, I don't really like people. I don't mind being around them. But when it's like a lot of people, right? Here's not even that many people. But I grew up in a big city. Like I grew up outside, not like in the suburbs, but like in a city outside. So there's like a lot of people, but not like a lot. Not like the suburbs where it's like super quiet. It's like still grew up by a freeway, like there's still stuff going on, like you know what I'm saying? Um, so it's kind of like I am okay with people, but up to the extent that like I'm aware, right? Especially when I am like very in my not I'm doing amazing. A lot of what I have to kind of deal with, or like what helps me kind of just like deal with my day to day, is kind of like, oh, okay, like I'm gonna go to the grocery store, right? And like, how many people are usually at the grocery store? Okay, like when I go at this time of the day, there's usually like this many. I go at that time of the day, there's like this many. And like all that information is input in my head that like I am like, okay, so if I show up like 10 o'clock and there's like not that many people, right? Because maybe like just a couple moms like might be there, or a couple people that work from home. Like, I'm not gonna go into the whole thing and be like, no, I'm not. I don't. Okay. Those are the example that came to my head. So, there's gonna be some people, but not a lot of people. If I go one day, like on a Wednesday at 10 o'clock in the morning, like before Thanksgiving or something like that, right? Like I'm thinking about on Thursday since I chose Wednesday, then there might be hella people. And it's not gonna be like what I'm expecting. And I'm not like genuinely, I'm not mad at these people. They're not bad people. They need to get what they need to get. I'm not angry. I think sometimes, like, if you don't have like really good self-awareness, you start to get irritated at people. I'm not irritated at the people. I'm just like, too many people. Too many people. Many. And but if I'm like, oh, this is Wednesday night, Thursday morning before Thanksgiving, and like I need to go get stuff, then I know that there's gonna be hella people, and I know that I'm just gonna have to be mentally ready for that, like psychologically ready to just be around all those all that energy. Okay. So I'm guessing it's like the level of masking I need to do, because it's like an overwhelm. I'm just genuinely overwhelmed. And then it's annoying because like I love that it's just like becoming a head thing. Just becoming a floating head. Um, it's more, see, I think the hard part for me that I find, right, in this conversation is like people are like, that's like a little dramatic. And I'm like, yeah, I understand. But I understand that like you may see that as a little bit over dramatic, but some people are scared of spiders, and like most spiders aren't really going to do anything to you, and they're like kind of helpful to the ecosystem. So like I don't know, that's pretty dramatic. Or like when something happens, like you wet, like I don't know, and like you feel comfortable and you start yelling, it's like, I mean, for me maybe that's a little dramatic. So, but I'm not mad at you. Like that's your life. Do you whatever. This is my life. Do me, okay? And I went somewhere today, and like I hate because no, I didn't go somewhere I hate, sorry. I went somewhere and I've never gone like during a time where there's like a lot of people, I guess. Oh, okay. Good text. And mm, okay. So everywhere. Every place I went. Every place. Every place. And I didn't go alone. I didn't go, I didn't go alone. I went with other people. And like I think some people think I'm like a little dramatic because I just like to do things on my own. I like to get things done on my own. And sometimes I'm like, see, I think I find this interesting because like I feel like I'm hyperly independent. Um, because I just feel so uncomfortable in like the regular human world, that like I just need to do stuff on my own, not because I literally, okay, there's a problem where like I'm independent because I think I can do it. It's just like I just need to breathe, because I used to be like on the go, 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 like super accelerated. Like my life was accelerated. I was on that lane. And everybody in my life was like, you need to relax. Like you are going to die. And I even had doctors and psychologists been like, you need to relax. You need to breathe. And I was like, oh my God, maybe I do. And so as a change in my life, I have tried to take a different cadence and just move at a slower pace. I don't like to rush. I like to leave with time. I like to walk when I want to, when I go something for somewhere I want to go, I want to get it. And I'm used, honestly, even people that are rushing, I feel like I still finish before them because I'm going in like a full peace of mind. That's what I also irritates me about people is like their energy is like, in the cartoons where they would have the little lines because the people are like vibrating. It's like they're doing all of that, but nothing's happening. Like they're in frantic panic mode. And I'm not judging these people, okay? This is just like my experience with these people. So relax. Their little lines, it's like they're freaking out, but then they're not moving. And then I'm moving at like my slow. It's not, I'm not, I probably don't even move that slow, but I'm moving much slower than what I used to, right? Taking the breath, I'm moving, I'm doing what I need to do. I'm not rushing myself. I'm allowing those moments of peace, moments, milliseconds, and I still feel that I finish before people, like when I'm shopping, when I'm doing things. Okay. And this is never a race on like who's doing it faster or who does better. It's just something I notice, right? Because usually you're in that energy because you got to finish quick. There have been moments where like I feel that energy of the person behind me in line. And if there's like not a lot of people in line, I'll be like, do you want to go ahead of me? Just so I don't. And I'll be buying like two things, girl. So I'm gonna be quick. But I'm like, do you want to go ahead of me? And then they'll be like, really? Like, yeah. I'm like, they're like, no, go, please. I'm not in a rush today, don't worry about it. And like, I don't mean it as shade, but also like part of my autism is like, I don't know how else to explain it without like going into a tangent. So I'm like, oh, I'm not in a rush. I'm like, and I don't know if you need to be somewhere, but I get a sense of that when I feel like they need more than that. But then I'm like, oh no, no problem. Usually that's where it like ends up. Oh no, I'm not going anywhere too far. Blah, blah, blah. And even that's masking. Even like letting them go is like me masking because I'm just like, I'm like, I don't know if I'm avoiding conflict or if I'm being smart about the conflict that I'm putting myself in because like the 10-15 minutes that they take to like pay their stuff and buy doesn't like ruin my day. It doesn't put me behind like a whole fucking cycle of my life. I sit there and I think, and sometimes I'm listening to music and I will think things through and I can breathe and relax and I get to enjoy that time with me. So I don't see it as a loss, right? That I'm waiting when I wait or when I'm in a line. But see, that's when I'm like full brain aware and available and present. Now the problem is the gag is I haven't even started about like why I'm here. I want to go get more water. I'm going to get more water, so I'm going to pause this here. I don't know how long it's been. So maybe this will be a whole separate video. And I'll get into like what I'm talking about. And just, these are just some thoughts. This is very much just kind of a sort of rant on how I am getting to know myself through a new lens of autism and like certain things that I like feel like are related to them and like yeah. So I'm gonna stop it here, get some water, and then I'll make